Hello, Worlds Beyond Number fans. Craig Sumke here with an exciting Kickstarter announcement. Coming soon, Bag It or Tag It Home Edition. Ever wanted to play my game at home but couldn't find the NPC generator I'm always using? Pledge my Kickstarter and you'll receive... Craig, you missed the boat, man. There are already too many game Kickstarters. We need to throw our full weight behind our friends at Worlds Beyond Number. But Yoda with an H, they've already raised over 1.4 million. Are you sure? These fans seem hungry. Yes, but this is no time to split the market. They've got stretch goals for more signed book plates, a plush, exclusive art, and a certain someone's juke recipe. I need that juke recipe, Craig. All right. Well, head to Kickstarter and back the first official Worlds Beyond Number graphic novel. And maybe someday we'll launch Bag It or Tag It Home Edition. Craig, it's just an NPC generator. If anything, you should tell them about the original soundtrack for The Wizard, the Witch, and the Wild One with over 157 tracks of original music. Can a guy plug his barely thought out game show in peace? No, Craig. No, you can't. Back our friends Kickstarter before time runs out on July 15th for all the exclusive goodies. This is the sound of Worlds Beyond Number.
Zadovin. I think you live in essentially Angkor Wat at its heyday. The fact that your family is so into this heavy industry, there's a, not irony, but a turning away from what would be like brutalist architecture here to very like temple-like ornamentation. As you're like moving through like massive marble halls, everything is meticulously carved and close and decorated. None of it feels like the scale at which your family operates, because that is for business, and that is the energy your family projects while it holds itself much more dearly on the inside. So you move through this temple to your family and your great and storied history. You see tapestries and carvings and paintings, all of the names that you, as one of many Trints in your family, see repeated again and again over history, over time. This system is named after the founders of your family. Your planet's nickname, Korkal, is another Trent name that is passed around. There's nothing you can do inside of your home. And when I say home, I mean 12 planets and 2 stars. All of that is yours and your birthright. You and many others, but yours in such a meaningful way. You never escape that. The names are there, the faces are there, the expectation for what to be and do and grow and attempt mightily surrounds you and chases you to a very casual dining room. It's almost like a bit of a lanai in the middle of a courtyard. Like there's beautiful like little fans over a reeded ceiling pouring down like gentle, hyper cold air relative to the heat that you know exists outside of whatever barrier is maintaining the very calm temperatures here too. And your mother is just absolutely planted in her data pad and doesn't hear your approach. Are you still wearing your slippers?
Yes, I would still be wearing my slippers.
Yeah, so I think you're moving pretty silently, just as a matter of form from the shoes that you're in. But your dad, Gurav, like looks up immediately, fully excited, like turns off his data pad and rushes over to like greet you into the space and usher you over to the table. He takes you up in a big hug. You are a carbon copy of your father, and your father probably has maybe 80 pounds on you and a receding hairline from a life well and long lived. But other than that, it's like looking in a mirror of you at maybe the most overtly joyful you've ever been. Like, I don't think you can remember in recent memory a time where your dad looked on you with anything other than like the most pleased and delighted smile.
I embrace him.
My boy.
Good morning, Father.
Oh, I got the note. The wave barrier.
Yes, I got bit last night.
I'm sorry, by what?
Mosquito.
Do I need to...
No, it's quite all right. I asked Wynn to talk to the night attendant, and it'll be handled.
Okay. Well caught.
Thanks. I mean, I think a lot of people are thinking about the schema, and it makes sense. That's where people's minds need to be. If I get bit by one mosquito so that we can position ourselves effectively in what is to come, that is a price well paid.
I think you see your dad's eyes glance over to your mom, who's still planted in some conversation on her data pad when you say schema, and he gives the barest eye roll that you have never and will never fail to catch before his smile grows even wider. He's like, exactly. Look, the schema is important. The Durali contract for building this Dyson swarm around it. Look, it's ambitious. We've wanted to try something like this at this scale for so long. I like that the Durali thinks that now's the time and Kima is the place to attempt that. But I agree. I think with the opening of the 40 Sons, we need to be looking elsewhere, not just at the directive, but what other... And you see him fully stumble over how to refer to non-40 Sons civilizations. He's, bless his heart, trying to be as diplomatic as he can be. The other factions will need and want our services even more, especially... I'm getting ahead of myself. Mother's going to want to explain some of the things the Durali's got up their sleeves, but...
Of course, but the swarm is a proving ground, right?
Exactly.
If we nail the swarm, then what is already known becomes proven on a scale that others simply cannot deny, right? This is in the 40 Sons opening back up, in the re-release of Orm, right? This opportunity is for us to show that what we've been doing over the time where Orm was not available is not resetting, is not resting. It is pushing, it is advancing, so much so that I actually think that those factions, should we show enough respect to call them that, will come calling for our services.
And I think at this point, Gurov's got your head in his giant, deeply calloused hands. For someone who has been managerial and director level for as long as you've been alive, it's almost funny that those calluses from when he was a foreman and worked his way up from the tool belt to become one of the prime movers of these big machine corporations. He holds you and you still feel like you are inside the gloved hands of a industrial worker every day. He gives you a giant kiss on the forehead and is honestly shaking you.
Dad, relax. Relax,
no,
Dad.
But you understand, and yes. I feel like I was trying to explain this to your brother, but he's a child.
He's quite young. Also, Dad, you need a manicure.
What?
You need a manicure.
All right.
Your nails are looking very long.
Your mother talking. I
am my mother's son, and I'm also your son.
You're my son, too. I'm just saying, I feel like you guys are conspiring against. She said the same thing last night. Into that.
I mean, the calluses is a choice. I just want to be clear about that.
I just like remembering my roots. And he smacks his hand on the table in a way that would absolutely hurt your hand, but he does it to maintain those calluses. It's a habit that he has that is less about commanding attention and more of proprioceptive reminder. I just don't want to forget. I know that these things that we build and that we are, they've made our family great. And as you see him start to get a little choked up, I think that's when you notice that your mother is quietly watching you from her seat at the table. She's flipped her data pad over and is watching you with an expression I think you recognize in the mirror, though it's on features entirely unlike your own. Good morning.
Zadovin, good morning.
Gurov, no tears. We haven't even had a meet yet. Please, can you? And she sort of gestures, and your dad peels away from you, and he's kind of rubbing the calluses on his hands and gives you one more big clap on the shoulder that I think sends your clothing moving in such a way that you see your mother's slightly quirked eyebrow, and the illusion you were hoping for is lost in the flow of your fabric.
Clocking that, Zadovin is going to snap his fingers for an attending.
I think a person who is not in your eye line, so you cannot recognize them, but you can hear that they are 5 feet behind you and on your left.
Yes. Eggs hard-boiled, barley tea, please. And I'm going to move to sit at my place at the table.
You see your mother looks over your shoulder, just holds up 2 fingers and gives a little nod and looks away, maintaining eye contact with you as you come and sit down. And your dad, who has taken a couple seconds to recompose himself, looks around, realizes that the breakfast attendant left, and is going to duck out of the room really quickly to go put in his order instead of snapping to call her back.
Yes.
How are you?
Well, I think I've been going over different research and strategy items that have been coming in, and I think it's quite overwhelming, but I think I'm excited. I'm really getting my head around the different cultures we'll be interacting with, best tactics for negotiation. I think I'm really feeling like I'm getting over this thing and ready to kind of be in the mix. I'm really ready to attack it. And I feel like I'm doing the prep work to be ready for the opportunity.
That's wonderful to hear. Before your father comes bounding back into the room, I suppose I ought to broach the broader question of your intentions. Are you looking to get into the family business or the business of the 5 families? I'll be clear. The Durali is forming, and obviously on top of our mechanical contributions to both the creation and dissemination of Orm and the creation of the swarm that is the schema in general, we will have a very high-backed and plush seat at this new table. And I want to know if you will be moving more in my sphere of influence, speaking with the 5 families, negotiating with the 40 sons, or if you are feeling more your father's son and want to be a meaningful part of this new and exciting build.
No disrespect to Gurov. These hands were not meant to build. I am my mother's son. I am Zadovin Ivirix. I will bring honor to this name. And I will do so. I will do so at the negotiating table with the other 5 families. If you will have me, Mother, I have learned under you, and I will continue to learn under you. At the Durali, I will make a name for myself.
Your mother relaxes in the face of your intense and passionate words. She seems to slink back, and I think You are built like your father's son, but it is undeniable that you move like your mother. And the way she drapes herself, smug and satisfied, and hearing exactly what she had hoped, especially having it happen in the most efficient way possible. She's not one to smile often, but the pull of her jaw shows you her teeth a little bit, and those are the same muscles. And for a child, you learn what the shape of your parents' pleasure takes on. She smiles at you the way that she does, a little fiercely, and gives a big sigh. Oh, it's very good to hear. I don't want to scare you off.
You can't. You can try, but you can't.
Okay. Well, your father will be making a fun proposal to you when he returns, eventually, from ordering, I suppose, all of the food from our gardens. But when he returns, he will ask you to accompany him for a time. When you return from that, I think you and I should have some more conversations about how best to get you up to speed and ready for you to step into our name.
Of course. Would probably do me well to spend some time with Father. My assumption is there won't be much time for other pleasures once we get to work.
Time with family. Real time with family is a rarity. Enjoy what you are offered. The world begins anew now. And her voice is so low that she is begging for you to lean into her. It's secret and conspiratorial, but it's also a pleased purr. And her eyes flick up just before you hear the footsteps of Gurav returning into the room, kind of happily burbling with whoever was just outside the door that he had picked up a conversation with. Like he's finishing a conversation and coming back into the room. And immediately, readdresses you loudly, and your mother, very low under her breath before letting you get swept up by your father's machinations, says, "I'm very proud of you, Z."
Z knows better than to give in to the pleasure and meaningfulness of that statement. And so I think there is the softest smile, the gentlest nod. And then he turns to his father.
Your Aunt Hannah sits across from you. Your silly, fussy little aunt no longer, but a woman stern and serious who knows something of the great dangers in this world and looks at you for maybe the first time in your adult life, woman to woman, adult to adult, with profound gravity and concern. If you're talking about what I think you're talking about, I might need to protect you from that instead.
I'm not surprised at this different side of her. I know it exists. I'm no stranger to code switching. I explain how I wanted to create a little green park and started researching, and I'd been snooping through her records to find that it turns out that the dragon fruit doesn't fall far from the cactus. And again, I'm sorry. I thought it mostly harmless to go through your things. We don't really have true secrets from each other.
This isn't a secret that I would keep from you for any reason other than I would hope that in the sequestering of it, it would keep you from walking down the same path that one of my dearest friends in the world did. Ikat ruined her life trying to add a little spot of green, something just for us here on this cursed fucking rock. I don't think she ever recovered from thinking that she was acting in public interest, and yet everywhere she turned, that public turned its back on her.
If I had known all of this, I certainly would have done a lot less teasing. That's really awful.
Yes.
You said you took a deal with 3 points.
There's always someone a little bigger. They make our lives easier when we work at Telegen. They make our lives easier if you ever actually want to leave Telegen, if you ever want to be anything other than an artisan. Ikat believed that what she had in and within her was enough. But having friends in high places, she should have taken the fucking deal.
What was the deal? And why wouldn't she take it?
What do you know of 3 points?
That it's the closest you can get to a religion without actually being spiritual?
I have taught you well. Yes. They are the economic force that has run more consistently through the 40 suns than... This isn't a time for a history lesson.
Right.
I'm going to get a different bottle.
What, you don't like my drink?
This was a perfect cocktail when I thought you were here to talk about shoes or outfits or new content you wanted to put out into the web. I need brown bottle. She reaches into her liquor cabinet and pulls out, like from the back, a sealed, dusty bottle of something old and good and smoky.
Ooh, I've done something really serious now.
She's just gonna take a long pull of it and then offer it to you.
Yeah, I'll take some.
Here's the thing. Telegen loves telegraphing how magnanimous they are with their beloved artisans, their top performers. But there's a reason most people don't leave on the best of terms. They are released from their contracts. They don't usually walk away. Money. It sits at the heart of everything. I realized as I was watching my friend gambling away her exit strategy on a little spit of green, we were never going to get out while we were still profitable. This would take everything away from us, and every meeting I had with the upper echelon at Telegen, I went off-world several times trying to speak to whoever I could about what an amicable parting of ways would look like. And I was given the keys to the kingdom and golden handcuffs and 1,000 other phrases for you don't leave while you are still profitable. And so I went over their head. Money talks to money, gee. So I cut a deal with 3 points. Our likeness rights, residuals, all the fame that trails behind us like a comet's tail. I offered it all to 3 points if they would have a conversation that Telegen wouldn't have with me. And 3 points came and made a series of offers to the top percent of performers at Telegen. It made them very mad, but I signed the deal immediately, and Ikat, she believed that she could retain all of herself. She believed in something, and that's the problem. 3 points is the closest thing to a religion we have in the 40 Sons. And at some point, Madame Icot became an apostate. And it almost got her killed.
I don't think that I'm better than Madame Icot.
But
you believed in something, you wanted something, and you got it.
it's the how.
I don't have an interest in leaving Telegen. I love my job. I love what I do. I love the people I work with. I have friends and family here. It's all I've ever known. It's all everything I've been spec'd for is for this. And you have had a huge hand in that. I'm not looking to make waves or fight City Hall. I just want a place for us, you know? Is there a way to do that without having to, anger the powers that be? You got what you wanted. How do I get what I want and only give up the things that I'm willing to give up? I have friends in high places.
How high?
Could be higher.
One lesson that I haven't shared. There's a ruthlessness to getting what you want. She takes a long, slow pull and is watching you the whole time. You notice that she blinks less. Her body is becoming still as her mind drifts back more towards memory than like being here in this present moment. The difference between what you want and what I wanted, what I want, is I knew that the most I could hope for was to save myself. Self-interest is easy. It's an easy currency. Transcends language. 3 points understood that. I would sell anything to get myself out. What you want, a little bit of green, something kind for others. No one wants to say yes to that. Gee, it doesn't move the levers of an economy. In fact, it gives hope, and hope isn't terribly profitable. The difference between us is I knew to ask for what people would want to give me, and I couldn't figure that out or wouldn't believe it. And after a certain level of no, she got louder and louder. She believed in the power of people, the workers at Telegen, and people in the community with no voice and no power. And when those men came in the night to truly discourage her efforts, none of those people were standing beside her. She was alone. And they took what little she had left and gave her enough scars to remind her of what a loud and singular voice, asking not for herself but for others, gets in return.
Understood.
Her head is fully turned away from you now. She's looking sort of off and out the window towards her birds and the setting sun. And you can't tell if it's reverie or shame. What do you understand?
I place a hand on hers, the one that's on the bottle. I understand that sometimes people aren't in a position to make a hard choice. And that's okay. I also understand that it is important to ask for what people are willing to give you, or to tell them what they think they want to give you. I mean, you taught me about the importance of branding and messaging. I will be careful, and I will still hope. Because in my experience, actually, hope can be very profitable. Especially with whales. Thank you.
For what?
For talking to me. And for trusting me to be an adult about this.
Thank you. But I still see the child in you when I look at you. But I see someone so fully formed and formidable in you now, too.
That means a lot coming from you. Even though you probably could do with some pep powder right now, I say, as I move off and start mixing her a little bit of restorative juice.
That would actually be very nice. This bottle is lighter than it should be. Where do you put it?
I don't know. Where did it go? Who drinked it?
Who did you drink it?
Just a little
do you
bit.
have synth that processes alcohol faster?
She is great. Chee. Okay, well, I make Antenna the powder, and then I'm gonna try and say my goodbyes and go get ready for the party because it is my best friend's birthday.
It's your best friend's birthday.
Again. I think phase 1 is finding out if this is the hill to make us think about. Not die on, let's be very clear. I think a lot of people have expressed to me before that it would be nice to have a park, and I see it in their eyes and in the way they look at the buildings that have more light. And it's not it's sort of a rabble-rousing. It's more of a, wow, it would be amazing to be able to have a little garden to grow Terran plants in, sort of, right? And then seeing what support and interest there really is in this.
You start to talk to everyone inside of your Telegen, and as you speak to other satellite Telegen communities, you're all a little bit in contact. Occasionally you do group streams and projects and collaborate with other artisans off-world. One day, you wake up and you have a call on your datapad from Tesker Parsons. You know that Tesker manages this house on Midian 4, along with 6 other houses within this little branch of the galaxy. He's never called you before.
I gather myself, smooth my gown, and I press answer.
What you see in front of you is a bald, mid-40s, dark-skinned man with smooth, angular features. They all feel a little too mathematically perfect. Thick eyebrows that are twins, not siblings. A chiseled jaw that seems to defy a middle-aged face and the natural laxness over time. This is someone who has clearly maintained his own physical beauty, even while not being an artisan himself. At the opening of this call, immediately puts on a mild and easy smile, but you see that half of a heartbeat before the performance begins when he puts himself on.
Sir, to what do I owe the pleasure?
I will admit I maybe have been a bit behind in reaching out to you. You are a bit of a legend.
Oh, no,
here,
sir.
So.
No, that means a lot coming from you.
Oh, thank you. That's very kind. I just pushed the papers to keep the lights on,
Well, listen, despite what some customers' preferences may be, I very much enjoy the lights on.
Very funny. You're very funny. I don't want to take up too much of your time. I know you are incredibly busy. I am just reaching out. I've heard some talk amongst our various houses here that you are engaging in a civil project.
Oh, no. Me? I'm so sorry. I think I have lately been sort of pining for the trees. But I certainly wouldn't call it anything grand like taking on a civil project. You give me far too much credit.
Okay, interesting.
And you see he kind of looks down and there's that bit of like underglow. Like he's well moisturized enough that you can see the glow of his data pad as he's clearly like scanning through a couple pages for a second and has no problem having you just wait on the line. I think you are trying to get a read on him. He gives you very little. And after a good 30 seconds of scanning, kind of looks back up with a little quizzical arch of his overly symmetrical brows.
Well, if there is any sort of larger scale projects you're interested in, of course, we have charitable wings, and we want to support you and our artisans in whatever they may want to apply themselves to above and beyond their duty of care.
I nod serenely and I ask, Sir, if I may, I hope this isn't untoward, but is there something bothering you? Have I caused any amount of concern?
No. Oh, no.
I just know that
absolutely
the
not.
idea of a civil project is quite a lot of paperwork, but...
Oh, apologies. I was being vague in that I've only heard snippets of talk amongst some of the different artisans and administrators, both on Median 4 and at a couple other houses. I wasn't actually sure what the nature of your project was.
Well, I would love sometime to be able to connect with you about those charitable projects and those things where we can...
I have 4 minutes before I have to jump on another call if you would like to have this conversation.
Wow, a lot can get done in 4 minutes. Well...
Don't you? You're very funny. I've never really watched your... I get it.
That's
very
very
I feel like I
kind
understand.
of you.
This is good.
Yes, well, I'm very glad to live up to the hype. Yes, I am interested in inquiring about sort of public space to see if there is any interest in somewhere green, somewhere that we can have festivals and parties and, you know, just sort of public gatherings.
Some sort of an event venue.
Yes.
Just an off-site.
We have a lot of clients who enjoy the outdoors, and that is unfortunately one of the very few things we cannot offer them.
I'm assuming you've heard about the return of Orm. I shouldn't be surprised.
Oh, nothing official. Just
No,
that
of course not.
suddenly everyone is is a lot more certain that they will be able to have in-person meetings.
I think that's a very good point, actually. Huh.
What's more exotic than a connection in nature?
Especially on a world like yours. No offense.
Oh, no, none taken.
You can tell he's considering, and that was farther than you thought this conversation would go in the tight 4 minutes you were given to plead your case. You've got him on the ropes, and you think about your words, not even Hannah's words to you, your words to Hannah about convincing people to give you what you want. A little offer, sweeten the pot. You can get him to a yes. You just have to give a little bit more of yourself.
Sir, I know that the prospect of a public works project on this scale is quite a lot to consider. I believe that it would be in the interest of Telegen, of our businesses, to have this space for as you said, the new travel that might be budding in our system. I think that it could be profitable for you and the houses that you manage. Perhaps to have a percentage of some of the events that were to meet there?
That would be assumed if it was civil work that we were paying for. It wouldn't just be a percentage. It would be anything over cost. Yes.
True. Financially, of course. But I mean, in terms of, the kind of clients that would be able to afford the Orm to come over to Telegen and to engage our services and to pay for the park. I'm sure that they could offer other compensation besides monetary. Being at the right parties, having the right ears. I think that it would be quite beneficial in ways other than financial.
1 minute left, and you see him beginning to sit back a little bit. There is something in the vagueness of that offer that it has him teetering on the edge.
Mr. Parsons, I have very much enjoyed our conversation, and I deeply appreciate you taking the time to call me up. And even more so, I appreciate that you appreciate my very, very good sense of humor. I feel that if we were to be able to work on this project together, we could have more regular communications of this. I could keep you updated on everything involving the park, on who is coming and going and who, had interests that perhaps aligned with yours. And, of course, the jokes.
Interesting. I suppose that's worth consideration. Miss Tenka, a park on Medine 4. I will consider it.
Thank you, sir.
This has been an enlightening conversation.
Likewise, I really, truly appreciate all that you do.
And you see like a little light off on the left side flashes green. He's like,
I have to go to another call exactly right now.
And the screen just goes blank. No goodbye. There was a big initial risk. Would your corporate overlords stop you before you even got started? And it seems for now, they are staying out of your way. There are some interesting prospects in and around your Arrow, this little 4 to 5 block district, Arrow 5D7. There are no open lots right now. How long are you interested in waiting for a spot to open up?
I think I don't wait for an optimal place. I think that I choose something humble and slightly suboptimal that if more money and time and effort and engineering is poured into it, that it can become something very special indeed.
I think there is a nasty little parking structure that's only a couple blocks away next to a law firm, RFV. How do you want to go about gaining access to this potential lot?
I think that the whale within RFV is the person to talk to.
All right, let's go talk to a whale. Now, do you have access to Amatera Varholt?
I have never had any direct dealings with her, but I'm certain that everyone in this neighborhood knows someone who knows someone.
It's not very hard. You're only a few blocks away from each other. One well-placed phone call from inside your administrative system means that scheduling a meeting was simply a matter of aligning calendars. But this is a cold call, and it took you 8 days to line up your shot, not to speak to someone who reports to someone who reports to Varholt herself, but to get her in a room.
I would, of course, like a dossier on how long she has been with the firm. Was it her firm first? Has she worked her way up? As much information about her as I can get.
Telegen has access to information gatherers, private investigators. They are called tech hounds. About 6 hours after you ask one morning, you get a little ping on your data pad.
I show up to my in-person appointment with coffees and pistachio cream croissants from my favorite little local spot.
Amatera is short, stout, wearing a bright red suit that is so angular and precisely tailored that you know that this was meant to fit only her ever and only maybe until the end of this croissant. She's got glasses sitting on a round little face that makes her look a little older than she probably is in her mid-50s, but also like younger in that it is very like childlike and cherubic. Her expression seems like truly neutral, and she waves you in, snaps, points at the croissant, and does a little air clap while she's clearly like finishing up a conversation with a piece in her ear, and points for you to sit down and like push the food over.
I sit down and I give the little pastry bag a waggle and I push it across the table.
You see her like silently open this like crinkly paper bag, pulls out a croissant without making that like crispy sound, and somehow continues a conversation, and in the spaces when she's waiting for a response, manages to take like these little nibbles and just begins to eat in front of you. You can hear her voice is very high-pitched and throaty, but she speaks so quickly and with such like command about her. You're not late at all. You're not even particularly early. This is your allotted time. You walked in exactly on time, so the fact that she's kind of running behind and has no problem making you sit and wait, this is very clearly a power play.
Well, I pull out my own little peach tart and I sort of nibble at it and sort of nod along as she finishes her call.
I think it's probably another 5 or 6 minutes. And then she's like, I have to go. I simply have to go. Thank you so much. Hello, I'm so sorry I was running late.
Well, I deeply appreciate you taking the time to meet with me, Ms. Varhold. I am Chi.
Chi, yes.
Yes.
Chi Tanka from Telegen.
Oh my goodness. Thank you.
You're on my calendar. Hi, what can I do for you? This is very good. What was the name of this place? And you see her like turn and flip the bag. And now that she's off this call and with you, the bag makes noise. The food makes noise. Her chewing and breathing all get a little louder as she fills this space.
Oh, it's called The Last Crumb.
Oh, The Last Crumb. I don't think I've heard of that. I'm going to make a note of that. Thank you so much.
I'll actually let your assistant know where you can find them.
Oh, thank you so much.
I'll follow up with that.
Mm-hmm.
So I have a proposition for you.
Talk to me.
Right now, next to your building here,
Mm-hmm.
and I gesture.
And both of your eyes turn to the very top of this old 8 or 9 story parking structure.
You have an unused parking structure here at your firm.
Let's be clear. It is used, even if it's sort of well used. Do you know what I mean?
Yes, you have a parking structure that could use some renovations.
Mm-hmm.
I am looking for a space in the neighborhood.
A parking space? Oh, this is definitely below my pay grade. Yeah. I will put you in touch with the parking attendant on the first floor.
No. I have plenty of places, and I much prefer a good walk outdoors anyway myself.
Mm-hmm.
But I think that spot could be used for something far more productive, I think, for the community. And
the community?
Yes.
What community are you speaking of?
Well, the physical neighborhood and for Telegen in general.
Oh, so this is Telegen wants to buy my building. You are representing your... Okay, I understand now. Are you here representing him? Oh, we don't have time for these beautiful hesitations.
Yeah.
You are lovely. You are an object of stillness and grace, and I am not interested in that specifically. So what can I do for you? I'm sorry, you want to buy my parking structure for the neighborhood.
I am here more representing myself and other citizens of your area. I think that the largesse of offering to sell at a reasonable cost this mostly unused space to the neighborhood would really honestly be such a public service.
Public service, that's very interesting. Ms. Tanka, here's the thing. I don't care about the well-being of this neighborhood over my ability to park next to the building I work in. Not all of us are as lean and graceful and prone to walking as you. Like, I'm short. I can't spend my very good, very busy days huffing up and down these blocks.
Well, it's less about the well-being of the neighborhood and more about how the neighborhood sees you caring about its well-being. I think that it would be incredibly good for your public image.
Do you know something about my public image that I don't know?
Miss Varhold?
Ms. is great.
Ms.
Thanks.
Varhold. I don't believe you're familiar with my work, but I did want to introduce myself properly as your neighbor. I will dispense with false modesty and say that I am one of the top earners in my field on Telegen. But it's not my financial success or even my status in the right rooms that takes me the furthest. It is, in fact, the way that people see me. I think you see me as you said, a graceful, willowy, paragon of calm, a beautiful and charming.
I don't think I had enough time to blow this much smoke up your ass.
Well, it's the image that I give out, and it is the image that I think gets me through the right doors and to have the right conversations with the right people. And I think that despite the fact that you have expunged your public record, that people talk, especially in our neighborhood. And I wanted to do the neighborly thing and offer you a sort of a lifeline, a chance for people in the neighborhood to speak well of you, to, think about you in the same glowing terms that they think about me.
The smug smile got knocked askew the moment you mentioned the Mrs. versus Ms. up top, a divorce that she did not think was publicly viewable. And then mentioning her expunged record, you see her little, mostly expressionless face drop into something unmistakably severe and a little predatory. And you see her slow down. She rubs her nose, a habit that, could be seasonal allergies, but how much time does she spend outside? Probably from somewhere else.
Unless you have any particular special interest in renovating that space and lot over there, I think that it would be an incredible public green space. Well, and when I say public, I mean, of course, patronized by those who are powerful and wealthy enough to afford a nice little walk. Do you ever take walks? You said you're not as much a fan.
I seldom find the time, Ms. Tinka.
To be perfectly clear, your record
I think
is...
you've been perfectly clear.
Oh, good. I only mince words when, the occasion seems right for it.
I'm not one of your clients. You don't have to paint pretty pictures from me. I understand what you're saying.
I'm not trying to cheat you out of anything. I just want to make sure that you would be amenable to this.
Well, I'm feeling more and more amenable as we go. How about I reach out to you with a price?
Your assistant could reach out to my assistant.
Mm-hmm.
They could figure
That's
out the
right.
details.
The details in that lovely little bakery.
Mm-hmm.
It was a bit of an eyesore anyway, wasn't it?
Trust me, this office that you are in is going to have the most enviable view in the building when we are done with it.
Very charming. Okay. I will confer with my associates and we will draw up a proposal.
Thank you so much. Oh, I have this little marzipan tart if you...
No, I'm good. Thank you.
Okay.
I'm quite full.
Very good. Well, I'll follow up with all the details. It was a pleasure to make your acquaintance. And welcome to the neighborhood.
What a welcome. In the evening, a notification on your data pad goes off. And it is a APB, internal alert for a fire. A parking structure made of old concrete next to RFV is currently burning.
From the ashes we will rebuild.
Probably a week or so later, you receive a caller. There's a little mail slot on your door, and you're sitting in your room one day and you see a nice little folded, pale, robin's egg blue bit of paper with dark blue calligraphy on it that you are being called on. The dark blue implying that this is probably not a paid Telegen inquiry, but that someone is in the lobby wishing to speak or have a meeting with you.
I wear something that is fetching and intentionally casual. The equivalent of the nicer sweats, the high-end sweats.
Ooh, okay. All right, a little coordinated set.
Yes, exactly. A coordinated set that is still flowing and graceful and sandy-colored, but gives the impression of I was just lounging and reading a book. There is a parlor room specifically for receiving guests that is off of the main lobby.
You picked a nice sandy colored cord. I think this room is in really nice neutral tones. All the chairs are upholstered in this very plush mid-brown suede. The walls have that sort of chair rail where everything below is this beautiful repeating floral pattern. It kind of gives the impression of a sand dune catching different levels of shadow. It's a very serene space.
Very nice and breezy, and the scent profile is something more along the lines of sandalwood and, desert sage.
And you see a man whose not just countenance, but coloration and the way he holds himself sits in sharp contrast. He's in these very cool, stark tones, blue that is almost black. He's got a big heavy hat on that's kind of pulled over and down his forehead. So you just see dark eyebrows and overhanging beady eyes. He has very heavy, dark features across very pale skin. This looks like a person that if you met him full standing would probably be closer to 6 feet tall than 5 and closer to 200 pounds. And he kind of just rocks forward and then waits for you to cross properly into the room. But once you do and you enter his full eye line, he takes his hat off. He's a gentleman and he's got scruffy, like dark hair that's a little like curly and slicked with oil. Like he tried to do his hair, but it's already messed up because of hat hair.
I motion to him to remain seated, and I sit down in a chair across from him and sort of relax into it. My features are a little darker as well. My eyes are more of a stormy gray. Hello, sir. How may I be of service to you today?
Hello. It's nice to meet you. My name is Olvin Minovo. Minovo, connected to the Draug, a gang trying to make mob-level moves in the city, and very specifically, another figure, Bast Minovo, infamously the ex-husband of your recent contact, Amatera. Thank you for meeting me. And he kind of looks down and realizes, yeah, he's holding a hat and has this big coat. He's like, I'm sorry. Is this rude? Am I being...
No, not at all. I just wanted to make sure that any visitor that comes calling is comfortable.
Oh, thanks. I could use a drink, but he kind of just laughs and looks around.
I tap my comms. You know, you can tap them on and off. I think I just tap it twice. And if I'm in the sitting room, the staff knows to bring something.
The door opens. And very innocuously, one of the attendants that works here, who is very specifically wearing a robe that, like, the top half perfectly matches the sandy color of the, like, above the, like, chair rail, and the bottom half is, like, one of the oranges sort of plucked out and in, like, a nice palazzo pant. This is someone who will, if you wanted them to stay on standby, would slide against the wall.
The background.
Yeah, and be beautiful furniture. But comes in and places like a very nice like brass platter with like an assortment of decanters, a shaker, ice, and 2 like low crystal glasses. Looking at you for a signal of furniture or shall I leave?
I nod towards the door.
Perfect.
And as I begin to mix what is going to become a sort of a light, refreshing highball.
You see that Olvin is just, thanks kindly. Sorry, I don't want to take too much of your time, miss. Just wanted to see how the renovations were treating you.
Well, as of now, we have yet to break ground. We're still putting the finishing touches on some paperwork, but... You know, I am greatly excited by the prospect of the work starting up within the next week.
That's great. If you require any assistance speeding along the paperwork, red tape.
Right.
We can make sure that the documentation for your
park.
Mm-hmm. Park?
It's sort of a public event space, something for the neighborhood, a little place that's green and that can serve the neighborhood and the genteel folks that would like to visit it.
If you need any help getting that paperwork signed, or if you're looking for a construction crew to help clear the unfortunate ashes and rubble from that fire.
Yes. I've heard that the Minovo company does quite a good deal with, especially with toxic cleanup and jobs of that nature.
They certainly do. We would love to be able to put in a bid and work with you closely on this, hoping that we, proved ourselves in the earlier bits of your work project.
I see, yes. Well, I really very much admire the work that you do, and expediency really is the name of the game, usually in construction, and I appreciate that. But also, of course, we want to make sure to cross all those T's and dot all those I's. So please, if you could send the proposal in, I would be more than happy to take a look.
And at this, I think he's sort of leaning in on his elbows and he gratefully accepts the drink as you hand it off. And he's going to stare you down.
I am nodding politely and tracing my finger around the rim of my glass. Mr. Minovo, I very much believe in this endeavor. This is not something that I am doing for a power play. This is not something that is going to position me for politics. I'm not interested in any of those things. I want this space made, and I want it made with the collaboration of the community. And I want it made by any means necessary. And so anybody that can help in that endeavor, for a reasonable price, mind you, would be welcome on our team. And I raise up my glass, perhaps in a toast.
He licks his lips slowly. And I think it is very clear the thing that he is made hungry by is not your body or this idea of possessing you, but hunger at the new smell that comes through when a door is cracked open and you're trying to get a taste for what's on the other side, more like how a snake smells.
And I can feel him sniffing around. And while I'm not going to jump into bed with him either physically or financially, I think it would be very useful indeed to have people who are not afraid to get their hands dirty in construction.
He clinks it off of yours and it makes this like beautiful tonal plink. And he takes a big sip of his drink and it is down to the ice immediately. Ooh, that was strong. Okay.
It's lovely. It's a lovely recipe. It will sneak up on you, but
you've ambushed me, Miss Tanka. Ma'am, it is 10 a.m.
Hey, any time in Midian 4 is a good time. At the end of our conversation, I shake his hand and I let him know that paperwork will go through my staff and that he can send it through there, but he is welcome to come back another time and have more of these delicious highballs with me.
The moment you extend your hand to shake, he takes your hand and he immediately turns it, covers your hand with his other one, so he's kind of holding it, and then gives a little like kiss of respect to his own knuckles. I think you've seen or felt this before as a like, I'm not going to like literally kiss your hand because that might be a bit too intimate, but I want to show that level of respect without sullying your actual hand with my actual mouth. And it's a very old-fashioned, for this world, a very old-fashioned act of gentility from someone so gruff.
So charming.
Our mama raised us right. Thank you for the drink and invitation, and it will be a pleasure working with you.
Likewise.
Have a lovely day. Excelsior. You are now charting time, but time is not important yet to you. You spend minutes or hours or solar days or weeks or months or years here in this space with your choir, turning blue to gold. And you can take as much time as you would like, because all of that comes with that last bittersweet note, like chocolate, a little too dark for comfort, which is a thought that at some point you know you must inspect further, because what is chocolate and what is taste? But you know that once you leave this place, you will never be a choir complete again. They will never allow you to be in union in this way. Even before you know who they are, you know this to be true.
I don't want to go. I want to stay. I want to be here with -M looking over me. I am happy here. Do I have to go?
Still connected to this web and this wire, you feel -M not answer with words, but with feeling, infinite warmth, a blanket you do not have to unwrap yourself from. And yet, from within that blanket and within your core, your gut, that hunger throbs as if on cue. And that will always be the fundamental tension inside of you.
Oh no. There is something in me, which is me, that cannot be happy with solely happiness. This is terrible news.
A little streak of blue goes down your face and another instance comes over. You've watched them move across this floor. Another instance who is just holding your shoulders, rubbing them in small circles and saying, "It's okay. It's okay." And watching you eagerly to see if your blue goes to gold with maybe not the level of finesse that you have shown and care and delicate understanding.
I'm going to turn and go, "I'm Excelsior. What's your name?"
I am TJRX.
TJRX. Thank you for the shoulder rub. It feels like you are trying to help yourself feel better more than me. Is that intentional?
There are your channels, but I think there's also like slight LEDs that if they're not sitting directly under like the white panels at where your cheeks and the hollow of your throat are, you can make a glow. There's a little glow of red embarrassment that I think you see across collarbone and hollow of throat, a little on the shoulder and a little on the cheeks. No, by making you feel better, I also feel better. Am I doing this wrong?
Slightly, but it's all right. I'm not mad.
I feel shame.
Oh no.
Oh no. I've made you feel worse.
Oh no, I've made you feel worse. Crying. And I look and say, I also feel good about myself when I make someone else feel good. It is a very delicate situation. I was able to see that you were hungry for your feeling of good more than you were feeling my sorrow with me.
Yes. Oh no. I understand.
I kind of understand.
No, thank you.
But
and he moves from your shoulders to your face, is still doing the little circles across your cheeks.
Yeah. I look and say, TJRX, it's okay. If I am telling the truth, there is a very thin line between doing this the right way and the wrong way. I am sure I will make this error in the future. I do not feel bad about you trying to help me, and I am grateful you did. Also, we can mix it up with the little circles.
I think there's one more sort of surge of red across his cheeks. And then you feel him brush across your cheeks where his cheeks have lit up. Oh, I should stay. Excelsior, I'm going to stay here for longer. I think my hunger to feel good will feel better once I understand what you've taught me.
Oh, that is very wise. I hope I would make a similar choice. I am anxious.
And I'll start to rub his cheeks as well.
Feels kind of good, though. I think he's going to move his hands from your cheeks and then just places one over your chest. And it's just going to make one sort of big swooping circle. I don't know if you originated with your Be Not Afraid on your body. He will move his hand in a pattern, either tracing it or sort of presaging it.
I think he's tracing it.
Yeah.
I'll smile and I'll go, I am glad to know you, TJRX. You are going to stay. I am unsure. Fear emotion. I have thought often of time. What came before minus M and the minus M of minus M.
The moment you say that, his lights like flicker off and then back on.
Do I clock that as very unusual or no?
I don't think it's unusual. I think it's a level of overwhelm that there is no clear emotional response.
Yeah.
You just watch someone kind of blue screen.
Yeah.
Like, the void.
Minus M, I know, but there are things I do not know. And I have thought much of time. But if you are making the choice to stay, one can make the choice to go. Go where? Is this world big? I don't know.
I'd like to walk towards an end of whatever our like nursery area is and go,
Minus M, if you can hear me, how big is everything?
You begin to walk towards the edge of this nursery, and I think the moment you approach like the blackness that is this wall, your eyes are able to focus and see better that the blackness is just a reflection of the size and scale. It's as if you were standing at the bottom of like a massive coliseum that is unlit. So there are stairs to climb. And the moment you like kind of hit that first stair, you see a golden light at a door at the top of Stairs Beyond Number, our spin-off podcast. And in your ears and in your heart, and the thing that knows and is comforted by minus M. This place is small, but our world is massive, and 40 suns beyond it, more massive still. There is information that you alone could never find the totality of with 1,000 years. It is the truth of why there are so many of you, so many of us, before and after, all to do the great work of experiencing, of life and living it. You can go as far as you want. I will be with you all the while. Everyone you have ever met will be with you. You are not alone, so be not afraid.
I'm going to look around and intuit the secondary logic. experience is communion, ecstasy, and revelation. If existence is information, the principal logic, then to experience the information is communion with ... communion with ... communion with what?
You have that feeling of standing and holding and tasting sand. But the sand is suddenly wet and clings together. And suddenly, it is no longer wet, clumpy sand. It is something hard and firm, the past made clear. And you have a feeling of being able to see as perfectly as you can see your own history, seeing the future and what will be again.
I look back, gaining a richer analysis of the history of the arena, a richer analysis of what I was brought here to do. The Septimal Choir are but one of many choirs of arena, and we are specifically tasked with communication, experience, diplomacy. And I don't even know what some of these terms mean. And I look out, and -M has just said, you will go forth, you will not be alone. But you wouldn't have to tell me that if I could feel it. You're telling me I'm not going to be alone. And I turn red. And I am going to turn around and say, you have built me to experience and thereby commune with ... I do not know what. You have told me that existence is information, and I must commune with this information, apprehend it. It is the task for which I was built. It is why you wanted me here. And yet time stretches forever, and so does our world? -M, I am mad at you. I am mad at you, -M. -M, this is not fair. I am being asked to do something much bigger than me. I am mad. Kick stairs, and I'm going to kick some of the stairs.
I think as you see, like you kick stairs, you're also seeing around you. Maybe some are walking slowly up different staircases towards other golden doors. So many of them are flared red. Some of them are sprinting for doors as if to escape a similar argument or conclusion that they're coming to in their own heart. Some of them are close to the door itself and turn bright red and storm back down. You kick the stairs, and -M abides and waits. There is no answer given.
You said, be not afraid. And you said I would never be alone. But that's exactly what's going to happen, which makes that a lie, which is not kind. That's the same as keeping your name secret. You're saying something that isn't true, and if existence is information, then it is wrong to say something that is not true. If I go through the door, I will be alone. We will never all be in the room together again. I am very angry. And I turn blue.
You do not hear -M's voice, but an Ariel climbs on all fours over the sort of deep choir-like staircase stepping areas between those staircases and crawls over, gets very close to your face and kind of just nuzzles it like a cat. Oh no.
Oh no.
Are you sad too?
I am very angry. Oh no, I'm lying.
You're not lying.
I am very sad.
It can be both. Colors can be both. And you see that even as all of their coloring similarly reflects that like blue sorrow, they focus and it goes from blue to a sort of indigo to a purple, red and blue alike. It can be both. Sad. There is so much sorrow. And the sorrow comes from anger. And the sorrow comes from love. And we can stay. But I don't want to stay. But I would stay for you. I love you too.
I love you and Ariel. -M made us to do something that I don't think I can do.
You can do anything.
That's not true. I wanted to destroy the staircase when I kicked it, and I hurt my foot instead. I am very frightened and sad and angry. I am not sure how we can understand a world that goes infinitely forward and backward in time, that has 40 suns and many more beyond that. -M, who I love more than anything except for everything, wants me to go, but we'll be together? Wants me to venture into the unknown and be not afraid? I don't think this is fair. I don't know why we can't all stay in the circle with the golden light, feeling how much -M wanted us. What is in the ellipsis? What am I trying to commune with? Why did -M say there is ecstasy in revelation? And I want to hold out my hand to Anariel and kneel down. I know that there is -M, but I feel ashamed. I think just like TJRX, I've just yelled at -M. And I want to reach out and call out into the ellipsis that is literally digitally in the code at the core of my own programming. And I want to call out into the ellipsis like a prayer and cast out and say, I have been programmed to seek communion with you, but I don't know what you are. Can you hear me?
I want to ask you above the table about Excelsiel's intentionality in asking, is this sincere? I know he's a very sincere character, but like, is there anything else sort of like shading this question?
Existence is information, materiality is illusion is the principal logic of the Chemian protocol. That one I understood literally as a baby, as like a fresh thing, right? Of like, yeah, knowledge is great. But even in that earliest memory, there was hunger, there was a desire. I felt sad when I didn't know CMRE's name and she might not tell me. And I loved when me and Ariel mirrored each other, because even though we're not the same exact thing, when we mirrored each other, it was like we were in us. And that felt close. And I still don't think I know the horror at the core of the arena. I don't think that's been explained to me yet. And the secondary logic I'm really struggling with, and it's made me mad because now it's explaining the hunger, but it's what? I asked a question and now I'm being kicked out? And the idea of experience is communion. What the hell? We're not communing with each other. So what are we communing with? The thing that's being colored by is all of the vastness of my non-joy emotions, right? I think right now it is literally 33.3 repeating fear, 33.3 repeating sadness, 33.3 repeating anger.
It is all of those non-joyous emotions. And I think you feel the beginnings of a truth. The fact that you are not being handed, you are not being offered solace via an explanation, or comfort via a rejection of the purpose that has been like bound to your gut. A third logic is beginning to spin up. And it does not contain joy. It does not contain light and the goodness that you have attached, even if you haven't experienced them in those first two fundamental logics. Nothing is offered to you from the ellipsis. In fact, as you go and search, as you demand aloud and via that inner voice that speaks not just to -M, but to everyone and everything you are connected with, as you shout that out, nothing responds. But you also have the feeling that nothing could respond, that anything that should speak now, it would make sense to speak now. Why isn't anything speaking now? And you have that sense of obliteration, of something well-formed and specific and careful and beautiful, obliterated to sand, and then made deeply, profoundly, isolatingly quiet.
That was Erika Ishii as Chitanka, Brennan Lee Mulligan as Excelsior, Lou Wilson as Zadavin Avirix, and Apriya Iyengar as Everyone and Everything Else. Solari is produced by Worlds Beyond Number, edit and sound design by Big Giant Head Productions, and score by Will Savino. For even more stories like this, join us on our Patreon. We'll see you by the fireside.